Yeah, Blizzard's incentive. And like I said, whilst I would absolutely love to believe that Blizzard didn't intend Legendaries to be what they ended up being, I really, really want to believe it was a mistake that got out of hand, letting goblins industrialize the entire system and become multi-millionaires in the game. At the very same time, it's really hard to ignore the other obvious thing here is that when you got like it's you got the WoW token, right? You got the WoW token. Goblin down here, Mr. Goblin, he buys a WoW token. I don't know how easy you can see it. He buys a WoW token. That's what, like 300k. He buys a WoW token. It's then a player that gets that. You've got Goblin here. Goblin here. Hang on. How have I managed to crash paint? Is that even possible? I nearly crashed paint. Over here, you've got a 40k Andy. So the 40k Andy spent 20 bucks. Hang on. What? Where's the button gone? Who's stolen the button? Okay. 40k Andy spent 20 bucks, but then what does 40k Andy do with that gold, right? What's 40k Andy going to do with that 300k that he's just got? Well, he's very quickly and very sensibly going to then buy something off the auction house that gives that 300k straight back to the goblin. Right? This is how the system works. 40k Andy is then going to buy potions. He's going to buy that shiny new legendary. He's going to buy that new leveling gear for his ult. All of the gold that 40k Andy has just bought goes straight back to the goblin. And then the goblin goes and buys another token. And the faster Blizzard can make this cycle happen, the faster Blizzard can do this, the faster they make money. Because every time this happens, at the top here, you've got a wonderful thing that's happening. The wonderful thing happening is that Blizzard, every time this happens, Blizzard makes $7. Every single time this circle goes full swing, Blizzard makes $7. So in a way, they want the goblins to be able to make a whole bunch of gold, because the more gold that the goblins have, the more tempting it is for them to just trade in 300,000 of their gold for a token for either what could be 30 days of game time or some Blizzard balance. They get what's it, like 13 bucks? It's going to be 30 days or 13 bucks they make. I'm using the dollar sign. It could be euros, it could be pounds, whatever your currency is. But if the goblins have got all of the gold, this becomes quite attractive because they can play the game for free. They can spend that gold on flipping Diablo Immortal or whatever. They buy the token. Blizzard makes $7 because they sold it to 40k Andy for 20 bucks. They only give you 13 bucks. So where did that other $7 go? Quite simply, Blizzard pockets it. But then 40k Andy, the reason he bought it in the first place is because he then wants to buy a bunch of shiny stuff off the auction house. And so ultimately that 300k goes straight back into the pocket of the goblins. And it's a circle. And that's how, and that is why Blizzard wants goblins to be super rich. Hence why I don't think they've been really I don't think that Blizzard have stepped in and crushed the legendary market, because they've probably seen that this wheel spins pretty fast in Shadowlands. Pretty speedy this wheel is gone. If 40k Andy buys, the faster they can make 40k Andy spend that 300k he got from the token, the sooner he's likely to want to do it again. It's a cycle that This is Blizzard's business model. This is the business model. You have to follow the money. And this is the business model. And this is why, as much as I would love to say that the legendary market was a mistake and it should never have been as ridiculously profitable as it was, this is the reason why it wasn't changed. Because this wheel spins really fast because of it. If they take legendary, and this is why I tend to feel that they want Dragonflight professions to be complicated enough that 40k Andy might not bother with them. But the goblins all love it. The goblins all love it. If they can play professions all day long, have loads of stuff to do with professions, they make all of the gold, they take all of 40k Andy's gold again, and this wheel continues to spin. And there goes another shiny yacht for Bobby. Maybe. Maybe. The pay-to-win aspect is so egregious in WoW, but it's overshadowed by the fact that we still use gold. Yeah, gold is no different to flipping gems in some mobile game. Like, are you buying gold or are you buying gems? It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. We're dealing with gold in this game, but ultimately it's gems. Blizzard makes the full $20 since you can't move it from them. Yeah, arguably, because even if they give you $13, there is the restriction that you can't actually physically spend it on a physical item. You can buy a digital item off them, which, yes, arguably doesn't actually cost $13, but there is a financial transaction there. Blizzard makes, yes, yeah. In reality, they do make the full 20, but it's counteracted by it's a loss of potential is the way that they look at it. They lose $13 of potential money that you could give them by giving you $13 over here. Even though you're restricted to what you can spend it on, the net profit is still $7 for Blizzard. Even though you are right, they pocket the full 20, but the net profit is still only 7. It's the Disney dollars situation. Yeah, it's exactly the same. But this is why it's a thing. This is why it's. I mean, it's a stupid little simple diagram of why of how the token works. But it's why the legendary system has done. You know, let's just. This is ultimately what, you know, 40k Andy wanted the gold for in the first place, is to buy his new shiny Lego. The legendaries throughout the expansion have accelerated the speed in which this cycle goes very, very heavily. And so when 40k Andy doesn't need anywhere near as much gold to spend in one go, the thing is what my theory here, and this is only a theory, my theory is that Blizzard probably, now that they know this system works, probably doesn't want to make the transaction feel so heavy. And the way they do that is they split up this 300k into smaller chunks. Instead of selling you one item for 300k, they would rather you buy 10 items at 30k. So how do they do that? Well, they make multiple different variations and qualities of the components that you're likely to want on a regular basis. There's going to be more buffs, there's going to be more potions, there's going to be more flasks, there's going to be more variety of them. There's going to be a lot more of an incentive for you to buy an array of consumable items. And if they can make you buy an array of consumable items instead of one big ticket item, you still spend the same, and you're probably going to do it just as quickly. But it doesn't feel as painful to you because you're splitting it up. That financial mindset is why most companies will allow you to pay for a service monthly instead of charging you a fixed price for an entire year. If you pay $10 a month to Netflix, it's far easier to spend $10 a month on Netflix than it is to get a bill once a year for $120. It's exactly the same money, but it feels tougher and more of a decision to buy it in one go. So they've seen it works with Legos. Now they're going to take the cost that people were spending on Legos and they're going to break it down into a lot smaller chunks. They're going to give you many, many more reasons to buy lots of little things. It'll all mount up to the same thing eventually. Call me a cynic, but you've got to follow the money. It's the business plan. You've got to follow the money. What I would like to clarify is in this whole process, as long as everybody involved is having fun, there's no problems here, right? There's no problems. The issue is 40k Andys at the moment buying 300k Legos don't see it as fun. They see it as that item is a necessary item for them to do what they need to do. But if they can make it so that buying a few fun little potions and consumables and some leveling gear and X, Y, and Z, if they can limit the damage, make sure that they're still having fun doing it, while still keeping this wheel turning, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Manthieus should be working at the Federal Reserve? No, hell no. Do not put me in charge of your money. This is why I'm not an accountant.